much of this, especially in internet or data governance, when we talk about China is the sovereignty-based multilateralism, okay, representative, whereas the U.S. is the market-based, okay, or but more open, more inclusive, multi-stakeholderism. I would say this is very much a false dichotomy. Okay, actually, when China had the law, had the resources to put up the Great Firewall of China, the most of the technology actually came from the U.S. Right, so it was the technology was U.S. corporate, okay, multinational corporations have their internal, trade secret protection is called intranet, okay? And only Sprint at the time was resourceful enough to export that to help China start. So there's a lot of, I think it's a very major misnomer to say China is the country that invented this idea of sovereignty, now extending to data sovereignty. One of my favorite books, for those of you who are interested, might be if we go a little bit backwards, okay, to the middle of the Cold War in Asia. Is actually a hot war, okay, especially along the border, okay, of Vietnam. And there's a new book 2 years ago by historian Diana Lemberg, okay, called Barriers Down. Okay, it's a Columbia University Press book. It actually traced, okay, actually during Lyndon Johnson and earlier when the U.S. was promoting satellites, okay, communication to help its allies to develop, and including, against the, the Viet Congs in North Vietnam, there was guarantee, okay, that national sovereignty of Thailand, of India, okay, will be guaranteed, okay, when you adopt satellite technology, right? But later on, okay, U.S. became a free flow. We know from the 80s. So free flow, even for the U.S., was very much a debate from the UNESCO debates, right? That became the dominant U.S. But before the 80s, the U.S. was very much in international information and technology, mostly satellite policy. It was using fundamentally multilateralism.